It has been said that Her Majesty Queen Victoria was so impressed by her children's delight in my book Alice in Wonderland that she issued a royal command that she must be the first person to be sent a copy of my next book. An elegantly wrapped parcel duly arrived. The Queen opened it, and inside I had enclosed a signed copy of my latest work, an elementary treatise on determinants with their application to simultaneous linear equations and algebraic geometry. It is a good story with a grain of truth in it. I am, after all, the Reverend Charles Lutwidge Dodgson, lecturer in mathematics at Christ Church, Oxford. And I am also Lewis Carrol, author of Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. So it is a good story with a grain of truth in it, but it is not a true story. But then, who would not prefer a good story, however untrue, to a true story? Particularly as so many true stories are remarkably dull. What I particularly like about this story is that I could claim that the reason I wrote my second book about Alice was because Her Majesty was so disappointed with my book on algebra that I had no choice. If only I had that much control over my imagination.
Alice Through the Looking Glass by Lewis Carroll. Dramatized by Stephen Wyatt.
Although I am a bachelor and I live in an ivory tower, metaphorical, not literal, in an Oxford college, I would not like you to think that I am a single-minded man. I am an amateur photographer of some talent and remarkable persistence. I am also an inventor. My inventions include the nyctograph, a writing tablet which allows you to make notes in the dark at night without all the bother of getting out of bed if you have an interesting idea and striking a light. I've also invented a steering device for the Velocium, which, as you know, is a form of tricycle, proposals for an improved voting system for parliamentary representation, a new sort of money postal order, a fairer rulebook for elimination in tennis tournaments, and... No, I'm certainly not single-minded. In fact, my brain has a tendency to gallop off in several directions, all at the same time. Now, where was I? Ah, yes. My new story about Alice. Alice's Adventures in Wonderland began on a riverbank on a hot summer's day. So this story begins indoors in midwinter with a snowstorm outside the window. You see, it doesn't do to repeat yourself. I said it doesn't do to repeat yourself. Anyway, here we are, Alice and I, in a comfortable sitting room in a comfortable Oxford house, with the snow beating against the windows, and Alice trying to learn how to play chess. Your move, Alice? Your move?
Oh, very well. You know it's not right what you said.
What do you mean?
You said I am trying to learn how to play chess, when in fact you're trying to teach me how to play chess, which is not the same thing at all.
You mean you don't want to learn how to play chess?
I'm not saying I don't want to learn. I'm saying I don't want to learn as much as you want to teach me.
Just a moment. Alice is not straightforward at all. Well, she's very straightforward in what she says, but not in who she is. Because there was a young girl called Alice Little, to whom I told the Alice stories, and there is Alice who is in my stories, and they are not the same person. If you understand string theory, or the search for the Higgs boson particle, then this is very elementary stuff. But nevertheless, it does present problems. Now, where were we?
I do love the snow against the window panes. How nice and soft it sounds. It makes everything in here so cosy. I'm sure the kittens feel the same. Just look at them. And oh look, Dinah's washing the white kitten's face. It's bearing it pretty well considering.
Alice, never mind the kittens.
But it's your move, not mine.
So, you've remembered how the knight moves?
Oh yes. The knight moves 2 squares in one direction and then 1 square sideways. He's the only piece who moves in that funny way.
Very good.
Excuse me. I think you'll find my white knight has just checked your red king.
Just a moment. You see, Alice has developed into a character with a life and will of her own, over which I often lose control. This is the uncertainty principle personified. It is possible to know where Alice is, but not what she is doing. Or we can know what Alice is doing, but not where she is. But I digress.
Hello, kitty. Come here.
You know that black kitten can create havoc. Look what she did to that ball of wool just now.
There's a good kitty.
She'll upset all the chess pieces.
No, she won't. Not if I hold her. Besides, her mother's washing her sister, so there's nobody else to look after her.
Very well.
So, Kitty, can you play chess? No, this is a serious question. Because Mr. Dodgson doesn't think I understand the rules, and my knight has just checked his king.
I'm sorry, you can't make that move.
Why not?
The knight's moved 2 steps sideways instead of 1.
The poor old white knight.
It's against the rules.
Then put him back and I'll think of another move. You know, Kitty, why don't we pretend that you're the Red Queen? All right, you're black, not red. But I still think if you sat up and folded your arms like this, you'd look exactly like her.
Alice, please, be careful.
Kitty, come on. Let's look in the looking glass. Now, come on, Kitty. At least try. There's the looking glass, and here we are staring into it. See? Shall I tell you my ideas about what's beyond there? First, there's the room you can see through the glass. That's just the same as our drawing room, only things are the other way around. But perhaps there's a beyond through there, which we can't see, which might be very, very different. And oh, Kitty, you're still not trying. Let's fetch the Red Queen so you can see exactly how she looks in the glass, and you can copy.
Alice, please, concentrate on the game. You'll upset
I
the whole...
only need to borrow the Red Queen for a moment to show Kitty. Now, Kitty, stop struggling. Careful now. I've gone through the looking glass. I went straight through it.
I'm sorry. It just happened.
It's like a fictional variation on what will be known as passing through a black hole singularity into a parallel space-time. Sorry, this is resident Radio 4 science guru Jumal Khalili butting in.
And I thought falling down a rabbit hole was alarming enough.
I really do have very little control over my imagination. But it is interesting, isn't it? Going through the looking glass?
Interesting, but very strange. What I could see from the old room is quite common and uninteresting, but all the rest is as different as possible.
In what way?
Well, the pictures on the wall next to the fire seem to be alive, and the clock on the chimney piece, you can only see the back of it in the looking glass, has got the face of a little old man. And oh, he's grinned at me.
That's the wonderful thing about Alice. My Alice. She's never alarmed for long. She's always curious and always asking questions.
What would have happened if I hadn't spoilt the chess game?
There wouldn't have been a story.
But where's Kitty?
She's gone back to her mother to have her ears washed.
And the chess pieces I upset?
I'm glad you asked about them. Here they all are, beyond the looking glass. After all, when you play chess, your pieces are an exact mirror reflection of your opponent's. And so playing chess and staring into a mirror come to much the same thing.
But look! They're up and about and chattering to each other and walking 2 by 2. Look! There are the White King and the White Queen. And there are the Red Bishops. And there's the White Knight. He looks very kind. But, oh, he's fallen off his horse. It must be because of the awkward moves he makes. Always going sideways. 1 step sideways. You see, I have remembered.
Now you got.
Oh, and look! There are 2 white castles walking arm in arm and arguing with each other. I don't think they can hear me, and I'm nearly sure they can't see me. It's as if I'm invisible. I just hope I don't keep getting very big and very small like I did down the rabbit hole. What was that?
There's a book lying there by the side of the chessboard, Alice. Pick it up.
It's all in some language I don't know. I can't make head or tail of it. It's
Think
just...
now. Where are you?
Oh, of course. It's a looking glass book. How silly of me.
So?
So if I hold it up to a glass, the words will all go the right way again. There.
'Twas brillig, and the slithy toves did gyre and gimble in the wabe. All mimsy were the borrow groves, and the mome raths outgrabe. Beware the jabberwock, my son, the jaws that bite, the claws that catch. Beware the jub-jub bird, and shun the frumious bandersnatch. He took his vorpal sword in hand, long time the manxome foe he sought. So rested he by the tum-tum tree, and stood a while in thought. And as in uffish thought he stood, the jabberwock with eyes of flame came whiffling through the tulgey wood, and burbled as it came. 1, 2, 1, 2, and through the vorpal blade went snicker-snack. He left it dead, and with its head he went galumphing back. And hast thou slain the jabberwock? Come to my arms, my beamish boy. O frabjous day, calloo, callay, he chortled in his joy. 'Twas brillig, and the slithy toves did gyre and gimble in the wabe. All mimsy were the borrow groves, and the mome raths outgrabe.
Well, it's very impressive, but it's still rather hard to understand. Somehow it fills my head with ideas, only I don't know exactly what they are. Are you going to explain what this poem means?
Later on, if we get the opportunity. But just for now, wouldn't you like to get on and see what the rest of the looking glass world is like?
Of course I would, but I'm on the other side of the looking glass. So how do I move? Should I go backwards in order to go forwards, or sideways? If I want to go left, should I go right? Or right if I want to go left?
That's a very good question.
And the answer?
Trust your eminently practical disposition and do what seems right.
I'm not sure how helpful that is. But look! The chess pieces are all on the move.
You'd better follow them. A game of chess must be about to begin. The way lies through that beautiful garden.
Oh, you know how much I love flowers. But listen, they're all talking at the top of their voices.
Good morning, Alice, and welcome to Flowers Hour. Today we're taking a look at the role of flowers in the garden and the question of loneliness.
You know, it can sometimes be frightening being planted out there with nobody to take care of you. So we ask, should roses be born to blush unseen?
And what about that big willow tree in the middle of the flower bed? It's got a bark, but does it ever go bow-wow when needed?
And finally, we'll be hearing about the problems of being picked and stuck in a vase. And we ask Alice, have you ever plucked a flower untimely? So tell us, Alice.
Alice?
Alice!
Alice!
Well, I've never heard the like. Not only are all the flowers talking at the top of their voices, they're trying to interview me.
Now, I have a question here from a listener called Alice. She says she's been having conversations with a number of garden flowers, and very vociferous they were too. She'd not previously been aware that flowers were able to talk, and she wondered if the panel had any explanation for this phenomenon.
Well, Alice, it is of course possible that the flowers where you come from have never met anyone worth talking to, which is why they don't speak. But I think there's a better explanation. In the looking glass world you're referring to, the soil in the flower bed seems to be very, very hard. Normally, in most gardens, the soil is much softer. So the flowers are all asleep in their beds.
Goodbye, Alice, and thank you for joining us on Flowers Hour.
Tomorrow, flowers in the conservatory. Are panes of glass a real pain? Goodbye.
And goodbye, flowers. I think I'm getting the hang of looking glass. If you walk in the opposite direction to the way you think you want to go, then you get there ever so much quicker.
Where do you come from? And where are you going? Look up, speak nicely, and don't twiddle your thumbs.
It's the Red Queen, looking much bigger and much more alarming than she had done on the other side of the looking glass, and not at all like a cuddly black kitten.
Well,
I'm very sorry, but I've lost my way.
I don't know what you mean by your way. All the ways about here belong to me. But why did you come out here at all? Curtsy while you're thinking what to say. It saves time. Time for you to answer now. Open your mouth a little wider when you speak, and always say, Your Majesty.
I only wanted to see what the garden was like. Your Majesty.
That's right. Though when you say garden, I've seen gardens compared to which this would be a wilderness. So where are you going now?
I thought I'd try and find my way to the top of that hill.
When you say hill, I could show you hills in comparison with which you'd call that a valley.
No, I couldn't, Your Majesty. A hill can't be a valley, you know. That would be nonsense.
You may call it nonsense if you like, but I've heard nonsense compared with which that would be as sensible as a dictionary.
Yes, Your Majesty.
Well, come along if you want to go there.
To the top of that little hill, you mean? Oh, yes, very much.
Then hurry! Well, here we are.
When I look down, the country looks very curious. Tiny little brooks running straight across it from side to side. And the ground between is divided up into squares by a number of little hedges that reach from brook to brook.
So what is it?
It's marked out just like a large chessboard.
Of course it is.
It's a great, huge game of chess that's being played all over the world. If this is the world at all, you know.
Of course. I've seen chessboards compared with which...
Excuse me, Your Majesty. I believe the game is just about to start, and I really wish I could join in.
Well, that's a change.
I wouldn't mind just being a pawn.
Well, you'd have to be a pawn to start with.
Though, of course, in the end, I should like to be a queen best.
Of course. It's always best to be a queen.
So, might I be allowed...
Yeah, it's easily managed. You can be the White Queen's pawn if you like.
Why the White Queen?
Don't argue. You're in the 2nd square to begin with. When you get to the 8th square, you will be a queen. Now, hurry, it's time to move.
So suddenly they're running hand in hand, and the Red Queen goes so fast that it's all Alice can do to keep up with her.
Faster! Faster!
We're not wasting any time in this game of chess.
So I'm going to be a chess piece?
Can you think of a better way to learn to play chess properly?
And I begin as a pawn and I end up as a queen?
Wait and see.
You may rest a little now. I'll just take the measurements.
The measurements?
Yes, the Red Queen is taking a ribbon out of her pocket, marked in inches. And now she's starting to measure the ground and stick little pegs in here and there.
At the end of 2 yards, I shall give you your directions. At the end of 3 yards, I shall repeat them for fear of you forgetting them. At the end of 4, I shall say goodbye. And at the end of 5, I shall go. Peg at 2 yards. Now, pay attention. A pawn goes 2 squares in its first move, as I think you already know. So you shall go very quickly through the 3rd square, by railway, I should think. And then you'll find yourself in the 4th square in no time. Well, that square belongs to Tweedledum and Tweedledee. The 5th square is where you'll meet the White Queen. The 6th belongs to Humpty Dumpty. But you make no remark.
I didn't know I had to make one just then.
You should have said that it was extremely kind of your Majesty to tell me all this.
It's extremely kind of Your Majesty to tell me all this. She sounds like you.
Humph.
Humph. Anyway, we'll suppose that it was said. The 7th square is all forest. However, one of the knights will show you the way. And in the 8th square, we shall be queens together, and it's all feasting and fun. 3-yard peg. Speak in French when you can't think of the English for a thing. Turn out your toes as you walk, and remember, you can only move sideways if you capture another piece.
But...
Don't bother to curtsy. 4-yard peg. Goodbye. 5-yard peg.
And the Red Queen's gone.
And now?
So now it's time to make a move. 2 squares. White Queen's pawn to Queen's 4th.
Via the railway which takes me through Queen's 3rd.
So you do understand.
Of course I do.
Tickets, please!
I'm afraid I haven't got one. There wasn't a ticket office where I came from.
Don't make excuses.
But what am I supposed to do? I think you should show passengers more respect.
Customers.
I beg your pardon?
You're customers, not passengers. And if you don't know where to buy a ticket because there isn't a ticket office, then that's your problem, not ours.
you'll be telling me next that I should have booked months in advance and then it would have been much cheaper. And if I only know that I want to travel on the day in question, then I must take the consequences.
Of course. You'll never become a queen if you don't understand how the transportation system works. And it drives people here mad, you know.
What does?
Trying to understand the logic of the railway transportation system.
What was that?
Don't worry, it's only a brook we're going over.
Well, if it takes me to the fourth square, then that's some comfort.
You're lucky today. This train is running something like to time. White Queen's Pawn to Queen's Fourth! Change here!
And suddenly Alice is in the middle of a wood.
A very dark, impenetrable wood. I really don't see what this has to do with chess.
I'm not very single-minded, neither is this story.
This wood is very dark and very impenetrable. I do hope it doesn't have deep symbolic undertones.
If it does, you and I will be the last to know.
Fortunately, I'm not easily frightened, and this does seem to be the only way I'm going to get to the 8th square and become a queen. But what's this?
And there in the middle of this wood is a very strange finger post.
The fingers are both pointing the same way, and one is marked to Tweedledum's house, and the other is marked to the house of Tweedledee. I do believe that they live in the same house. How absurd. Still, I don't need to stay long. I'll just call and say, how do you do? And then maybe ask the way out of this impenetrable and possibly symbolic wood.
Then suddenly, without warning, round the corner stand two fat little men. They look oddly familiar, don't they?
Very. Tweedledum and Tweedledee agreed to have a battle because Tweedledum said Tweedledee had spoilt his nice new rattle.
And here they are, standing very still under a tree, each with an arm round the other's neck. One has
Dum
embroidered on his collar, and the other has
D.
I suppose they've each got Tweedle around the back of the collar.
They're enantiomorphs.
I beg your pardon?
They're mirror image forms of each other.
So they are. How very strange.
If you think we're waxworks, you ought to pay, you know. Waxworks weren't made to be looked at for nothing. No how. Contrariwise, if you think we're alive, you ought to speak.
I'm sure I'm very sorry.
I know what you're thinking about, but it isn't so. No how. Contrariwise, if it was so, it might be, and if it were so, it would be. But as it isn't, it ain't. That's logic.
As a matter of fact, I was thinking which is the best way to get out of this wood. It's getting so dark. Would you tell me, please?
You've begun wrong. The first thing in a visit is to say, how do you do? And shake hands.
So what now? I don't like to shake with either of them first, for fear of hurting the other one's feelings.
So what's the solution?
Take hold of both hands at once, I suppose. How do you do?
No how. Contrariwise.
Well, now we've been introduced, I wonder if you could...
Do you like poetry?
Yes, pretty well. Some poetry, anyway. Now, I wonder if you could tell me which road leads...
She likes poetry. What shall I repeat to her? The Walrus and the Carpenter. That's my favourite.
Is it long?
Long enough.
Well, if it's very long, would you please tell me first which road...
You'd really be much better off listening. You might learn something.
We present The Walrus and the Carpenter, dramatised for radio by Tweedledum and Tweedledee, with Tweedledum as the Walrus and Tweedledee as...
Contrariwise.
With Tweedledee and Tweedledum in the parts of the Walrus and the Carpenter. Listeners should be aware that some of the events portrayed in this drama may cause offence, particularly to those of the bivalve community. The production also includes gratuitous sound effects, unnecessary voiceovers, and...
Get on with it.
The sun was shining on the sea.
Too loud. Wrong sort of sea. Yeah, that's better.
My castaways this week are two talented enantiomorphs, currently starring in their own dramatisation of The Walrus and the Carpenter.
The sun was shining on the sea, shining with all his might. He did his very best to make the billows smooth and bright, And this was odd, because it was the middle of the night.
Footsteps. Loud footsteps. Treading through sand.
The walrus and the carpenter were walking close at hand. They wept like anything to see such quantities of sand.
If it were only cleared away,
they said.
Yeah, it would be grand. If 7 maids with 7 mops swept it for half a year, do you suppose,
the walrus said,
that they could get it clear? I doubt it,
said the carpenter, and shed a silent tear.
Well, this is very interesting, but maybe...
You mustn't miss the best bit. Because the walrus and the carpenter invite all the little oysters to take a walk with them along the sand, and they all agree, which is very remarkable, as oysters don't have feet. Cue sound of oysters' feet. Walking on sand. But you're a professional, just invent something.
But I only write the...
Cue sound of oysters' feet. Walking on sand. Well, you took your time, but at least you're in with a chance of some sort of an award for special effects. The benchmark is camel emptying its bowels in the middle of the Sahara. On with the recitation!
And thick and fast they came at last, and more and more and more, all hopping through the frothy waves and scrambling to the shore.
The time has come,
the walrus said,
to talk of many things. Of shoes and ships and sealing wax, of cabbages and kings, and why the sea is boiling hot, and whether pigs have wings. I should have played the walrus. But you're the carpenter. It's a smaller part, but very dramatic, when we tell the oysters who've come along that it's time for us to feed. And the walrus and the carpenter bring out the bread and butter, and the oysters realise their fate. No. Oysters can't weep and wail. Even if they can walk without feet. It seems a shame,
the walrus said,
to play them such a trick after we've brought them out so far and made them trot so quick.
The carpenter said nothing, but...
the butter's spread too thick. I weep for you,
the walrus said.
I deeply sympathize.
With sobs and tears he sorted out those of the largest size, holding his pocket handkerchief before his streaming eyes.
Oh, oysters,
said the carpenter,
you've had a pleasant run. Shall we be trotting home again?
But answer came there none, and this was scarcely odd, because they'd eaten every one.
In The Walrus and the Carpenter, dramatized for radio by Tweedledum and Tweedledee, the part of the walrus was played by...
Well, what do you think?
I like the walrus best because he was a little sorry for the poor oysters.
He ate more than the carpenter, though. You see, he held his handkerchief in front so that the carpenter couldn't count how many he took, contrariwise.
That was mean. Then I like the carpenter best, if he didn't eat as many as the walrus.
But he ate as many as he could get.
Well, in that case, they were both very unpleasant characters. What was that noise? Are there any lions or tigers around in the wood?
It's only the Red King snoring. Why don't you come and look at him?
We are now reaching the most philosophically profound moment in this entire tale. Metaphysical deep waters loom. The Red King lies asleep, snoring like the puffing of a large steam engine. He's lying on the ground in an untidy heap with a tall red nightcap on.
There he is, snoring fit to snore his head off. Isn't he a lovely sight?
Well, I'm not sure I'd put it that way. Isn't he going to catch a cold with lying in the damp grass?
He's dreaming now. And what do you think he's dreaming about?
But nobody can guess that.
Oh, yes, they can. He's dreaming about you. And if he left off dreaming about you, where do you suppose you'd be?
Where I am now, of course.
Not you. You'd be nowhere. Why, you're only a sort of thing in his dream.
But if he were to wake...
If that there Red King were to wake, you'd go out. Bang! just like a candle.
I shouldn't. Besides, if I'm only a sort of thing in his dream, what are you, I should like to know?
Ditto!
Ditto.
Hush, hush!
Why?
Ditto.
Because I'm afraid you'll wake him up if you make so much noise.
So, you're afraid?
It's only a phrase.
Well, it's no use you're talking about waking him when you're only one of the things in his dream, because you know very well you're not real.
I'm not real.
Of course you aren't. No how. Contrariwise.
But I am real. I know I'm real.
Are you upset?
Of course I'm upset.
But it's a reasonable question.
If I'm confused, it's all your fault. If the king is dreaming about me and I'm inside his dream, then I must be dreaming about him dreaming. And what happens if he's not really real either? You enjoy playing with frightening ideas.
It's only playing.
That's what you always say. But at the moment, this is a nightmare of post-structuralism. Everybody seems to be constructing their own narrative to suit themselves, and I no longer have any idea who was supposed to be in overall control of what is happening.
I think it's supposed to be me. Shall we continue?
You won't make yourself a bit realer by crying. There's nothing to cry about.
But if I wasn't real, I shouldn't be able to cry.
I hope you don't suppose those are real tears.
You're just talking nonsense, and it's foolish to cry about it. And I really ought to get out of this wood, for it's coming on very dark. Do you think it's going to rain?
Nope, I don't think it is. At least not under this large umbrella of ours, and no how.
But it may rain outside your umbrella, where I am.
It may, if it chooses. We've no objection. Contrariwise.
You really are very selfish creatures. I shall have to find my own way through.
No, wait.
Let go, you...
Do you see that?
See what?
Look, there, under the tree. What do you see?
A small white thing.
Look closer.
Well, it's only a white rattle, not a rattlesnake, so there's no need to be frightened. Really, it's only an old rattle. Quite old and broken.
It's spoilt, of course.
I don't see why you're so angry about an old rattle.
But it isn't old, it's new, I tell you. I bought it yesterday. My nice, new rattle. And don't you try and hide yourself under that umbrella.
And now Tweedledee is doing his best to fold up the umbrella with himself inside. But he doesn't quite succeed.
So, of course, you agree to have a battle?
I suppose so. Only she must help us to dress up, you know.
Tweedledum and Tweedledee agreed to have a battle, for Tweedledum said...
Yes, we know the rhyme. We're condemned to repeat it again and again. It's like being in a play by Samuel Beckett.
The brothers go off hand in hand and return with their arms full of things, such as bolsters, blankets, hearthrugs, tablecloths, dish covers and coal scuttles.
I do hope you're a good hand at pinning and tying strings. Every one of these things has got to go on somehow or other.
Don't worry, I'm a girl. All the same, maybe it's better if you don't fight today.
But we must have a bit of a fight. Yes, of course, we must, but I don't want it to go on too long, do you? What's the time now? 4:30. Well, let's fight till 6 and then have dinner. Very well, and she can watch us. Only you'd better not come very close.
Oh?
Because I generally hit everything I can see when I get really excited. And I hit everything within reach, whether I can see it or not.
I'm surprised you can see anything with those saucepans jammed on your head. But it's all a boy thing, I suppose.
Whoa, we'd better begin quickly. It's getting as dark as it can. And even darker.
There must be a thunderstorm coming, unless...
Look at that thick black cloud. It's coming very fast. I do believe it's got wings. It's the crow!
Good evening. This is Jamal Khalili again with the Looking Glass weather forecast. It is, of course, no more accurate than any other weather forecast. Looking Glass weather can tell you the weather after it's happened with reasonable accuracy, but can't be relied upon under any other circumstances. During the day, there will be an expected period of total darkness. Now, this could be because of a total eclipse of the sun, or it could be because the sun will be blocked out by an exceptionally large crow swooping down.
Oh, I hope I'm safe under this tree. That bird's far too large to squeeze itself in among the trees. but I wish it wouldn't flap its wings so. It's making quite a hurricane in the woods. Look! Here's somebody's shawl being blown away.
Oh! Oh, my shawl! My shawl!
It's the White Queen!
And she's running wildly through the wood, with both arms stretched out wide. Queens are always charging all over the chessboard, because they're the only pieces which can. Though, in this case, the White Queen was hurrying so fast that she had missed the chance to checkmate the Red King while he was asleep. But then, every life is full of missed opportunities.
Here, Your Majesty. Don't worry, I've caught your shawl. She's just staring at me in a helpless, frightened sort of way.
If there's going to be any conversation, I think you must manage it yourself.
Oh, very well. Am I right in thinking I'm addressing the White Queen?
Well, yes. If you call that addressing, it isn't my notion of the thing at all.
If Your Majesty would only tell me the right way to begin, I'll do it as well as I can.
Oh, but I don't want it done at all. I've been addressing myself for the last 2 hours.
With due respect, perhaps it would have been better if you'd got someone else to dress you.
Oh.
Every single thing is crooked. Perhaps at least you'd allow me to put your shawl straight.
I don't know what's the matter with it. It's out of temper, I think. I've pinned it here and I've pinned it there, but there's no pleasing it.
There, that's better. But, oh dear, what a state your hair is in.
Ah, yes, the brush got entangled in it. And I lost the comb yesterday. Ow!
Well, that's the brush released. Now let's see what I can do to get your hair in order. Really, you should have a lady's maid.
Well, I'm sure I'll take you with pleasure. 2pence a week? Jam every other day?
I don't want you to hire me, and I don't care for jam. There, that's better.
It's very good jam.
Well, I don't want it today, at any rate.
Oh, you couldn't have it if you did want it. The rule is jam tomorrow and jam yesterday, but never jam today.
It must sometimes come to jam today.
No, it can't. It's jam every other day. Today isn't any other day, you know.
I don't understand. It's dreadfully confusing.
Yes, that's the effect of living backwards. It always makes one a little giddy at first.
Living backwards? I never heard of such a thing.
But there's one great advantage in it, that one's memory works both ways.
I'm sure mine only works one way. I can't remember things before they happen.
Oh, it's a poor sort of memory that only works backwards.
So what sort of things do you remember best?
Oh, things that happened the week after next.
She starts to stick a large piece of plaster on her finger. We are now into an examination of the theory of relativity in terms of time and space, for which I would accept responsibility if I fully understood it.
Allow me. Einstein's special theory of relativity states quite clearly that there is no such thing as simultaneous events. The order in which two unconnected events takes place depends entirely on your frame of reference. Normally this is fine as long as we don't violate causality. This means you can't have the cause of an event happening after the effect that it causes. Well, so Einstein says anyway.
Now, take the White King's messenger, for instance. He's in prison now, being punished. And the trial doesn't even begin till next Wednesday. And of course, the crime comes last of all.
Suppose he never commits the crime?
That would be all the better, wouldn't it?
The Queen binds the plaster round her finger with a bit of ribbon.
Of course it would be all the better. But if he never committed the crime, it wouldn't be all the better his being punished.
You're wrong there, at any rate. Were you ever punished?
Only for faults.
And you were all the better for it, I know.
Yes, but I had done the things I was punished for. That makes a difference.
But if you hadn't done them, that would have been better still. Better and better and better.
But there's a mistake.
Oh! 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 My poor hand! My finger's bleeding! Oh! Oh! Oh!
What's the matter? Have you pricked your finger?
I haven't pricked it yet, but I soon shall. Oh! Oh! Oh!
So when do you expect to do it?
When I fasten my shawl again, the brooch will come undone directly. Oh! Oh! Look, it's undone!
Do be careful how you handle it. You're holding it all crooked.
There, you see, the pin slipped and I pricked my finger, and that accounts for the bleeding, you see. So now you understand the way things happen here.
But why don't you scream now?
I have done all the screaming already. What would be the good of having it all over again?
It's starting to get light, so I suppose the crow must have flown away by now. Or maybe the crow's been flying backwards in time and... No, I'm just glad that it's gone.
Oh, I wish I could manage to be glad. You must be very happy living in the wood and being glad whenever you like.
But it's very lonely here. I want to get out.
Oh, don't go on like that. Consider what a great girl you are. Consider what a long way you've come today. Consider what o'clock it is. Consider anything. Only please, don't cry.
Can you keep from crying by considering things?
That's the way it's done. Nobody can do two things at once, you know. Let's consider your age to begin with. How old are you? Well?
Go on, you're 7.5.
I can't be. I was 7.5 in Alice in Wonderland, and you wrote that many years ago. I must be older by now.
Only by a very little bit.
You don't want me to grow up at all, do you? Do you?
It's only a story.
Do you really expect me to believe that when I'm stuck inside it? And I can't see I've learnt very much more about chess than I knew already.
You're gaining practical experience. You've become a chess piece and you're actively involved in playing your part in the game. Much more satisfying than theoretical knowledge, don't you think?
Oh, very well.
Well?
I'm exactly 7.5.
You needn't say exactly. I can believe it without that. Now, I'll give you something to believe. I'm just 101 and 5 months and a day.
I can't believe that.
Can't you? Try again. Draw a long breath and shut your eyes.
There's no use trying. One can't believe impossible things.
I dare say you haven't had much practice. When I was your age, I always did it for half an hour a day. Why, sometimes I've believed in as many as 6 impossible things before breakfast. Oh, my shawl! There goes my shawl again. Where's it gone?
It's there, on the other side of that little brook.
Quick, follow that shawl. Over the brook.
White Queen's pawn to Queen's fifth.
Exactly.
Only 3 more moves and I'll become a queen.
If the game goes your way.
You know, I'm not sure you want me to succeed. And weren't you going to give me an explanation of that Jabberwocky poem?
For the moment, just pay attention to the White Queen.
Now, I've got my shawl back, and you shall see me pin it on again all by myself.
Then I hope your finger is better now.
Oh, much better. Much better. Better.
The White Queen seems to have suddenly wrapped herself in wool.
But I appear to be inside a shop. And a very little dark shop at that. With an old sheep serving at the counter. And I do believe she's knitting. A sheep knitting?
The sheep's shop on White Queen Square 5 is well known for the eccentricity of its woolly proprietor and the dark and dingy nature of its interior. Some consumers find this quaint place delightful and offering an authentic taste of Old England. Others prefer to shop in larger, brighter premises where discounts for bulk buying are to be had.
What is it that you want to buy?
I don't quite know yet. I should like to look around me first, if I might.
You may look in front of you, and on both sides if you like, but you can't look all around you unless you've got eyes in the back of your head. And as it happens, you don't.
Then I shall turn round and look at the shelves as I come to them.
Just as long as they don't come to you.
I can manage very well, thank you. Oh, this is very provoking. The shop seems to be full of all manner of curious things. But whenever I look hard at any shelf to make out exactly what it has on it, that shelf is always quite empty, though the others around it are crowded as full as they can hold. If I can just... Oh dear, things so flow about here. For instance, that large bright thing over there. It sometimes looks like a doll, and sometimes like a workbook, and whenever I try to see... It's always on the shelf next above the one I'm looking at. But I'm going to follow it up to the very top shelf of all. After all, it's not going to go through the ceiling, is it? Oh, it has gone through the ceiling. As quietly as possible. What's going on here?
You could always ask the sheep. She's still there knitting.
With 14 pairs of needles at once. Excuse me?
Of course, if you were interested in quantum theory, you would know that your difficulty in looking straight at the objects in this shop is a perfect metaphor for the impossible task of pinning down the precise location of an electron in its path around the nucleus of an atom.
I beg your pardon?
Quantum theory describes the behaviour of the world of atoms and the tiny particles that make up atoms. It states that down at this tiny scale, the world is a very fuzzy, unpin-downable sort of reality. And yet this is no mere theoretical speculation. It really is what our world is built on. But don't worry too much about it, because if you're not baffled by quantum mechanics, then you clearly haven't understood it.
What is it exactly you want to buy?
I should like to buy an egg, please.
An egg?
Yes, an egg. How do you sell them?
5 farthing for one, 2 for two.
Then 2 are cheaper than 1.
You've heard of 2 for the price of 1. Only this is better still. Only you must eat them both if you buy 2.
Then I'll have 1, please. Here's my money. Aren't you going to give me my egg?
I never put things into people's hands. That would never do. I'll just put it here, upright, on the shelf.
The nearer I get, the further away the egg gets. And why's the shop getting darker and darker? What's happening? And now there's a chair.
But it's not a chair. It's growing branches.
It's turning into a tree.
And look, there's another little brook.
Can I step over it?
Of course. White Queen's pawn to Queen 6.
1 step nearer to being a queen.
Look, the shop becomes a forest, but strangely the egg is still there. And it's getting larger and larger and more human. Now it has eyes and a nose and a mouth. And now you can see clearly that it's...
Humpty Dumpty! Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again.
And here he is on top of a high, narrow wall.
I wonder how he keeps his balance. He seems as if he could fall at any moment. But it's extraordinary. He really does look like an egg.
It's very provoking.
What is?
To be called an egg.
I said you looked like an egg. And some eggs are very pretty, you know.
Some people have no more sense than a baby. Tell me your name and your business.
My name is Alice.
It's a stupid name enough. But what does it mean?
Must a name mean something?
Of course it must. My name means the shape I am. And a good, handsome shape it is, too. With a name like yours, you might be any shape, almost.
I don't want to argue, so can I inquire why you sit out here all alone?
Why? Because there's nobody with me. Do you think I don't know the answer to that? Ask another.
Don't you think you'd be safer down on the ground? That wall is so very narrow.
What tremendously easy riddles you ask. Any decent politicians could deal with these questions in 15 seconds without appearing to lie. So, of course, I don't think I'm going to have a great fall. There's been an absurd amount of publicity about the fact that I might have a great fall, and it's all ridiculously exaggerated. But if I did have a great fall, I have an unconditional undertaking from the king that in the unlikely circumstances that I did have a great fall, I would still receive a large pension and...
All the king's horses and all the king's men will be sent to put you right again.
So what are your sources for that?
You mean, what do I cook with?
Ah, you don't fool me with your pretended innocence. You're obviously in the know. You've been listening at doors and behind trees and down chimneys, or you couldn't have known it.
It's in a nursery rhyme.
Nursery rhymes are not proper sources. They're too consistent and reliable. Sources need to be implausible and to want huge sums of money in order to talk self-serving rubbish, which can then be published in newspapers. I hope you realize that you're talking to somebody with connections to the most influential people in Looking Glass Land. I know everybody worth knowing. I'm not proud, though. You may shake hands with me.
How do you do?
How do you do?
I'm worried about Humpty Dumpty.
Why is that?
Because he smiles so much without really laughing. If he smiles much more, the ends of his mouth might meet behind, and then I don't know what would happen to his head. I'm afraid it would come off.
Have you ever met a politician?
Not knowingly.
You have now. They may be clever with words, but their numbers don't always add up.
I'm afraid our conversation has been going too fast and has contained references to matters upon which I would prefer not to comment. Let's go back to the last remark but one.
I'm afraid I can't quite remember it.
You have no secret sources to refer to?
None.
Well, in that case, we can start afresh. and it's my turn to choose the subject. So, here's a question for you, Alice. How old did you say you were? Without hesitation, repetition, or deviation.
Alice? Alice?
7 years and 6 months.
I'm sorry, but that's wrong. You never said a word like it.
I thought he meant, how old are you?
If I'd meant that, I'd have said that. 7 years and 6 months. An uncomfortable sort of age. Now, if you'd asked my advice, I'd have said, leave off at 7. But it's too late now.
One can't help growing older.
One can't, perhaps. But 2 can. With proper assistance, you might have left off at 7.
What a beautiful belt you've got on. A beautiful cravat, I should have said. No, a belt, I mean. It's around your waist, isn't it? Or is that your neck?
It's a most provoking thing when somebody doesn't know a cravat from a belt. It's a cravat, child. And a beautiful one, as you say. It's a present from the White King and Queen. They gave it to me for an unbirthday present.
I beg your pardon?
I'm not offended.
I mean, what is an unbirthday present?
A present given when it isn't your birthday, of course.
I like birthday presents best.
You don't know what you're talking about. How many days are there in a year?
365.
And how many birthdays have you?
1.
Which shows that there are 364 days when you might get an unbirthday present, and only 1 for birthday presents. There's glory for you.
I don't know what you mean by glory.
Of course you don't, till I tell you. I meant there's a nice knock-down argument for you.
But glory doesn't mean a nice knock-down argument.
When I use a word, it means just what I choose it to mean. Neither more nor less.
The question is whether you can make words mean so many different things.
The question is, which is to be master? That's all. They've a temper, some of them, particularly verbs. They're the proudest. Adjectives you can do anything with, but not verbs. However, I can manage the whole lot of them. Impenetrability. That's what I say.
Would you tell me, please, what that means?
Ah, now you talk like a reasonable child. I meant by impenetrability that we've had enough of that subject. And it would be just as well if you'd mention what you mean to do next, as I suppose you don't mean to stop here all the rest of your life.
That's a great deal to make one word mean. Excuse me?
What is it?
He seems to be very clever at explaining things. Will he be able to tell me the meaning of that strange poem called Jabberwocky? He promised me somebody would.
Well, he'll be able to give you a meaning for it, certainly.
Do you know a poem called Jabberwocky?
Let's hear it. I can explain all the poems that were ever invented, and a good many that haven't been invented just yet.
'Twas brillig, and the slithy toves did gyre and gimble in the wabe.
That's enough to begin with. There are plenty of hard words there. Brillig means 4 o'clock in the afternoon, the time when you begin broiling things for dinner.
And slithy?
Well, slithy means lithe and slimy. Lithe is the same as active. You see, it's like a portmanteau. There are 2 meanings packed up into one word.
I see it now. And what are toves?
Well, toves are something like badgers, and they're something like lizards, and they're something like corkscrews.
They must be very curious-looking creatures.
They are that. Also, they make their nest under sundials and live on cheese.
They're also like a helix, a curve in 3-dimensional space.
I'm sorry. No interruptions and no irrelevancies. Carry on, Alice.
And what's to gyre and to gimble?
To gyre is to go round and round like a gyroscope. To gimble is to make holes like a gimlet.
And the wabe? Maybe the wabe is a glass plot around a sundial. Of course it is. It must be called wabe because it goes a long way before it and a long way behind it, and so...
If you're so clever, you work the rest out. Goodbye.
But there's ever so much more in the poem, and...
No, that's all. Goodbye.
But...
Remember, impenetrability.
Well, yes, I do suppose I'm not going to stop here for the rest of my life. So, goodbye until we meet again.
I shouldn't know you again if we did meet. You're so exactly like other people.
The face is what one goes by, generally.
That's just what I complain of. Your face is the same as everybody else. Now, if you had two eyes on the same side of the nose, for instance, or the mouth at the top, that would be some help.
It wouldn't look nice.
Wait till you've tried.
He's shut his eyes.
And I don't think he's going to open them again.
Then, is he going to speak again?
I doubt it.
We've only done the first few lines of Jabberwocky.
Enough is enough. To analyse every word in that poem would require 5 professors of linguistics working full-time for several decades. We need to get on with the game.
Oh well. Goodbye, Humpty Dumpty. I do hope you don't have a great fall. Mind you, not that I care much. Of all the unsatisfactory people I ever met, he was... Oh dear, he really has had a great fall.
A sad demonstration of Newton's law of universal gravitation.
Newton stated more than just the notion that things fall. He explained that it's the same invisible pulling force attracting all objects to the ground that also keeps the moon in orbit around the Earth and the Earth around the Sun. His universal law of gravity states that all objects pull all other objects towards them with a force that drops off with the square of the distance between them. It's all quite straightforward, really.
Quick, get out of the way, into the forest. Here come all the king's horses and all the king's men. I doubt if they'll put him together again.
Peace at last. Oh look, there's the White King.
Yes, he's sitting on the ground and writing in his memorandum book.
Hello, my dear. Did you happen to meet any soldiers as you came through the wood?
Yes, I did. Several thousand, I should think.
4,207. That's the exact number. I couldn't send all the horses, you know, because my 2 knights need them in the game. Hopefully they'll be able to put Humpty Dumpty together again.
I'm afraid I rather doubt it.
Oh, and I haven't sent my messengers either. They've both gone to the town. Oh, just look up the road and tell me if you can see either of them.
I see nobody on the road.
Oh, I only wish I had such eyes. To be able to see nobody, and at that distance, too. Why, it's as much as I can do to see real people by this light.
But I do see someone coming now.
Your Majesty, Messenger, stop waving our hands about and making fearful faces at me. Now, tell me what the matter is. No, on second thoughts, I feel faint. Give me an egg sandwich.
Here it is, Your Majesty.
Another egg sandwich, please.
Well, there's nothing but hay left in there now.
Well, hay, then. There's nothing like hay when you're faint.
I should think throwing cold water over you would be better, or some smelling salts.
Well, I didn't say there was nothing better. I said there was nothing like it. Oh, so tell me, Messenger, who did you pass on the road?
Nobody, Your Majesty.
Quite right. This young lady saw him too. So, of course, nobody walks slower than you.
I do my best. I'm sure nobody walks much faster than I do.
Well, you can't do that, or else it'd be here first. However, now you've got your breath back, you may tell us what's happened in the town.
They're at it again.
Who are at it again?
Why, the lion and the unicorn, of course.
I remember now. The lion and the unicorn were fighting for the crown.
Yes, to be sure. And the best of the joke is that it's my crown all the while.
Does the one that wins get the crown, then?
Oh, dear me, no. What a ridiculous idea. Now, shall we go and see them fighting?
Well, the bell's just gone for the end of the 97th round. What do you make of the mood of the crowd, Gary?
Well, some are giving them white bread, some of them are giving them brown, and if I'm not mistaken, some folk over there are preparing some plum cake.
So no sign yet of anybody drumming them out of town?
Not so far, anyway, but at the end of the day, it's not yet the end of the day.
And what's your analysis of the fight so far?
Evan, it's a very close call and nobody's won until they've won. There's no doubt they're very evenly matched. The statistics show they've knocked each other down about 87 times.
87 times? That's a lot of knocking down. What's their thinking here, Gary?
Well, I think they're both hoping that eventually the other one will be knocked down and won't be able to get up again, Evan.
What would that mean?
Well, the one who's left standing will have won.
and of course the other one will have lost. So what do you think of the unicorn's strategy?
Well, I think his strategy is to try and win.
And of course he could do some damage with that horn of his. What about the lion?
Well, I think the lion's strategy is to try and win too, and gain the crown.
Oh, look, just a moment. Look.
Yeah, there's the plum cake on a great dish being shown to the lion and the unicorn, and there's a small girl with the white king beside her who's trying to cut it. Very tricky cutting plum cake.
Any tips, Gary?
Well, I'm afraid, Evan, she's made the obvious mistake. She started cutting the cake before handing it round.
Oh, dear.
That sounds like drumming to me.
Me too. So, it looks like the fight is suspended. In fact, suspended until further notice, and the lion and the unicorn are going to be drummed out of town.
Oh, what a terrible noise! Worse than all the king's horses and all the king's men put together! I can't stand it!
Then you might like to step over that little brook ahead.
I think I might! Peace at last. White Queen's pawn to Queen 7th before you ask. Only one more move away from becoming a queen. It's so quiet here that maybe I was dreaming about the lion and the unicorn and handing round the plum cake and cutting it afterwards. Oh, the dish is still here. I'm confused.
About anything in particular?
So, I've not been dreaming. Unless we're all part of the same dream. But then I keep on thinking about the Red King. I mean, if this is a dream, that is, I want it to be my dream, and not the Red King's. I don't like belonging to another person's dream, and I don't like not knowing whether I am or not. In fact, I've a great mind to go and wake him, and see what happens.
I really don't think I'd recommend that.
Why not?
Well...
Why not?
Because although it's an amusing idea in theory, in practice the implications are rather alarming, and so...
Just see me try.
I don't think you should. Watch out!
Oh!
See? Here comes a knight, dressed in crimson armour, brandishing a great club. And you're still a pawn, remember? And he's out to put the White King in check.
Ahoy! Ahoy! Check. You're my prisoner.
I beg your pardon?
I said you're my... Oh!
He's fallen off his horse.
And now he's getting on again. The game will be lost unless his next move is blocked.
As I said, you're my...
Check!
This time it's a white knight.
I said, check! Don't worry, I'm here to...
Now he's tumbled off his horse too.
And now he's getting on again.
She's my prisoner, you know.
Yes, but then I came and rescued her.
Well, we must fight for her then.
You will observe the rules of battle, of course?
Of course, I always do.
So now they're putting on their helmets, which are shaped something like a horse's head.
How about ya? How about you?
I wanted to ask what the rules of battle are, but I suppose I'm about to find out. Really, this is nearly as complicated as chess and a lot sillier. One rule of battle seems to be that if one knight hits the other, he knocks him off his horse. And if he misses, he tumbles off himself. Oh, and they always fall on their heads. The horses, meanwhile, just remain quiet and let them get on with it.
So the battle ends with them both falling off on their heads, side by side. Then they get up again and shake hands.
Well done, old fellow.
Yeah, well done. Splendid.
Then the Red Knight mounts and gallops off.
I still don't understand what the rules of battle are, but at least I suppose it means that the White King is safe from being put in check for the time being, because obviously the White Knight thinks he's won.
Hello there. Well, that was a glorious victory, wasn't it?
I don't know. I just want to be a queen.
So you will be when you cross the next brook. I'll see you safe to the end of the wood, and then I must go back again, you know. That's the end of my move.
Thank you very much. May I help you off with your helmet?
If you'll be so kind. Now one can breathe more easily.
He's different from the others.
In what way?
He's got a gentle face and large, mild eyes. And he's the strangest-looking soldier I've ever seen. His armor is made of tin, and it fits him very badly. Oh, and he has a queer-shaped little wooden box fastened across his shoulders.
Ah, I see you're admiring my little box. It's my own invention, to keep clothes and sandwiches in. You see, I carry it upside down so the rain can't get in.
Unfortunately, the things can get out. Do you know the lid's open?
No, I didn't know it. Then all the things must have fallen out, and the box is no use without them. Might as well throw it away in the bushes. No, I've had a better idea. Let's hang it carefully on this tree. There. Can you guess why I did that?
No, I can't.
In hopes some bees may make a nest in it. Then I should get the honey.
But you've got a beehive, or something like it, fastened to your horse's saddle.
Yes, and it's a very good beehive, one of the best kind. But not a single bee has come near it yet. And the other thing is a mouse trap. I suppose the mice keep the bees out. Or the bees keep the mice out. Oh, I don't know which.
It isn't very likely there would be any mice on the horse's back.
Not very likely, perhaps, but if they do come, I don't choose to have them running all about. You see, it's important to provide for everything. That's the reason the horse has all those anklets round his feet.
But what are they for?
To guard against the bites of sharks. It's an invention of my own. And now, help me on. I'll go with you to the end of the wood. Oh, just a moment. What's that dish for?
It's meant for plum cake.
Oh, we'd better take it with us. It'll come in handy if we find any plum cake. Now, let's hang it on the saddle, along with the bunches of carrots and the fire irons and a great deal of other things. Now, off we go.
I know somebody else who invents all sorts of things.
Who's that?
Well, among his inventions is a nyctograph, which allows you to make notes in the dark, and a steering device for...
Let's carry on with the story, shall we?
I'm afraid you've not had much practice in riding.
What makes you say that?
Because people don't fall off quite so often when they've had much practice.
Oh, I've had plenty of practice. Plenty of practice. See, the great art of riding is to keep your... So, as I was just saying before that interruption, the great art of riding is to keep your balance properly. Just like this.
You have a very curious helmet, you know. Is that your own invention too?
Of course. But I've invented a better one than that, like a sugar loaf. When I used to wear it, if I fell off the horse, it always touched the ground directly, so I had a very little way to fall, you see. But there was the danger of falling into it, to be sure. That happened to me once. And the worst of it was, before I could get out again, the other white knight came and put it on. He thought it was his own helmet. I had to kick him, of course, and he took the helmet off again. But it took hours and hours to get me out, I can assure you.
He's fallen into a deep ditch. I can see nothing except the soles of his feet. I do hope he isn't really hurt this time.
I don't think he is. Listen.
Of course, you know, it was very careless of him to put another man's helmet on, with the man in it. But then...
How can you go on talking head downwards?
What does it matter where my head happens to be? My mind goes on working all the same. In fact, the more head downwards I am, the more I keep inventing new things. Oh dear, here we are at the edge of the wood. And now, I must leave you. Let me tell you a tale to comfort you.
Is it very long? I've heard a great deal of poetry today.
It's very, very beautiful. The name of the tale is called Haddock's Eyes.
So that's the name of the tale?
No, you don't understand. That's what the name is called. The tale is called A sitting on a gate. And it's my own invention. I'll tell you everything I can. There's little to relate. I saw an aged man a-sitting on a gate. Who are you, aged man, I said, and how is it you live?
He said,
I look for butterflies that sleep among the wheat. I make them into mutton pies and sell them in the street. I sell them unto men,
he said,
who sail on stormy seas, and that's the way I get my bread. A trifle, if you please. He said,
I hunt for haddocks' eyes among the heather bright, and work them into waistcoat buttons in the silent night. And these I do not sell for gold, or coin of silvery shine, but for a copper halfpenny, and that will purchase 9.
Thank you. I enjoyed that.
Then the White Knight says, you've only a few yards to go, down the hill and over that little brook, and then you'll be a queen.
You're him. He's you.
They're all me in a way.
Not in the same way. He's the only one who invents things like you do. And he's the only one with the kind face who doesn't shout all the time. And he goes about things sideways, just like you.
I don't keep falling on my head.
You can be rather clumsy, though.
He's much older than I am.
You won't stay this age forever. Any more than I can stay 7.5 forever outside of this story. Don't you want to get older?
Not very much.
I don't understand. I can't wait.
Alice, I think it's time to go off and become a queen.
Excuse me. Will you wait and wave your handkerchief when I get to that turn in the road? I think it'll encourage me, you see.
Of course. And thank you again for the tale. I liked it very much.
I hope so. But you didn't cry as much as I thought you would. Goodbye.
Goodbye. And now for the last brook. And to be queen.
You're sure you want to be a queen?
Why shouldn't I be? The 8th square at last. And the lawns as smooth as grass. Oh, how glad I am to get here. But what's this on my head? How can it have got there without my knowing it? It's a golden crown. I never expected to be a queen so soon. Does this mean the game's over? I mean, I wonder if I really am a queen.
Speak when you're spoken to.
And suddenly the Red Queen and the White Queen are sitting close to her, one on each side.
But if everyone obeyed that rule, and if you only spoke when you were spoken to, and the other person always waited for you to begin, you see, nobody would ever say anything, so...
Ridiculous! What do you mean by if you really are a queen? What right have you to call yourself so?
You can't be a queen, you know, till you've passed the proper examination. And the sooner we begin it, the better.
I only said if.
Huh. She says she only said if.
But she said a great deal more than that. Oh, ever so much more than that.
So did you know? Always speak the truth, think before you speak, and write it down afterwards.
I'm sure I didn't mean...
That's just what I complain of. You should have meant. What do you suppose is the use of a child without any meaning? Even a joke should have some meaning. And a child's more important than a joke, I hope. You couldn't deny that, even if you tried with both hands.
I don't deny things with my hands.
Nobody said you did. I said you couldn't if you tried.
She's in that state of mind that she wants to deny something, only she doesn't know what to deny.
Ugh, nasty, vicious temper.
But... this isn't fair.
Why isn't it fair?
I'm a queen now, and they're treating me like a naughty child.
Nobody ever said the adult world is fair.
Your White Royal Highness.
Your Red Royal Highness.
I invite you to Alice's dinner party this afternoon.
And I invite you.
Excuse me?
What now?
I didn't know I was to have a party at all. But if there is going to be one, I think I ought to invite the guests.
We gave you the opportunity of doing it, but I dare say you've not had many lessons in manners yet.
Manners are not taught in lessons. Lessons teach you to do sums and things of that sort.
Can you do addition?
Yes.
So, what's 1 and 1? And 1? And 1 and 1 and 1 and 1 and 1? And 1?
I don't know. I lost count.
She can't do addition. Can you do subtraction? Take 9 from 8.
9 from 8. I can't, you know, but...
She can't do subtraction. Can you do division? Divide a loaf by a knife. What's the answer to that?
I suppose
Bread and butter, of course, sir. Try another subtraction sum. Take a bone from a dog. What remains?
The bone wouldn't remain, of course. I took it. And the dog wouldn't remain. It would come to bite me. And I'm sure I shouldn't remain.
And that's your final answer?
You think nothing would remain?
Yes.
Wrong, as usual. The dog's temper would remain.
But I don't see how you...
Why, look here. The dog would lose its temper, wouldn't it?
Perhaps it would.
Then if the dog went away, its temper would remain.
They might go different ways.
She can't do sums a bit.
This isn't fair.
Welcome to the grown-up world.
So what is the cause of lightning?
The cause of lightning is the thunder. No, I meant the other way.
Ah, too late to correct it. Once you've said a thing, that fixes it, and you must take the consequences.
But
That's how it is in life. That's how it is in chess. Now, do you know languages?
What's the French for fiddle-dee-dee?
Fiddle-dee-dee's not English.
Whoever said it was.
Well, if you can tell me what language fiddle-dee-dee is, I'll tell you the French for it.
Queens never make bargains.
I wish queens never asked questions. I wish...
Oh, don't let us quarrel. After all, we are all queens. At least I think I am. Oh, dear. It's all such a burden, living backwards, flying forwards, looking after the king and the knights and the pawns. Oh, dear, oh, dear.
Your Majesty must excuse her. She means well, but she can't help saying foolish things as a general rule.
And the worst is always being in the public eye and having to smile and wave and shake hands with boring people. And it's even worse when there's a jubilee. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Oh, I'm so sleepy.
She's tired, poor thing. Sing her a soothing lullaby.
I don't know any soothing lullabies.
Never mind, she's already asleep.
Oh dear me. And I'm getting sleepy too.
What am I supposed to do now? I don't think it ever happened before that anyone had to take care of 2 queens asleep at once. No, not in all the history of England. It couldn't anyway, because there never was more than 1 queen at a time. I thought being a queen would be a pleasure, but it's nothing but a worry.
Growing up is not an unalloyed pleasure. Growing old is even less so.
Oh, do wake up, you heavy things!
And now an ode to celebrate the dinner party of Queen Alice, written by the Looking Glass Poet Laureate.
To the Looking Glass world, it was Alice that said, I've a sceptre in hand, I've a crown on my head. Let the Looking Glass creatures, whatever they be, come and dine with the Red Queen, the White Queen, and me. Then fill up the glasses as quick as you can, and sprinkle the table with buttons and bran. Put cats in the coffee and mice in the tea, and welcome Queen Alice with 30 times 3.
Come on now, into the dinner hall. There's dead silence, and about 50 guests of all kinds. Some are animals, some birds, and there are even a few flowers among them.
I suppose in a way it's a relief that they've all turned up without waiting to be asked. I would never have known who were the right people to invite.
Look, 3 chairs at the head of the table. The red and white queens have already taken 2 of them, but the middle one is empty. Go on. You want to be a queen? Sit down.
You missed the soup and the fish. Put on the joint.
A leg of mutton, boned and rolled, served with an onion gravy and presented on a bed of minted cabbage.
It looks delicious, but I've never carved a joint before.
You look a little shy. Let me introduce you to that leg of mutton. Alice, mutton, mutton, Alice.
It's got up in its dish and made a little bow.
Pleased to make your acquaintance, Your Majesty.
And yours. Excuse me, Your Majesties.
Yes?
May I give you a slice of mutton?
Certainly not. It isn't etiquette to cut anyone you've been introduced to. Remove the joint.
Your Majesty.
And bring
the plum pudding.
A plum pudding containing raisins, currants, shredded almonds and chopped cherries, accompanied by a brandy sauce.
I won't be introduced to the pudding if you don't mind, waiter, or we shall get no dinner at all. Your Majesties, may I give you some?
Oh, this will never do. Pudding, Alice, Alice, pudding.
Pleased to make your acquaintance, Your Majesty.
But...
Remove the pudding!
Your Majesty.
Just a moment. Waiter, bring back the pudding.
Your Majesty.
It's a very large pudding.
And
I feel a little shy with it.
conquer your shyness if you can.
Shall I cut you a slice, Your Majesties?
What impertinence! I wonder how you'd like it if I were to cut a slice out of you, you creature.
Remove the pudding!
But...
Remove the pudding!
No! Bring back the pudding! I said bring back the pudding!
I'm sorry, but it's time to make your speech.
My speech?
Oh, you ought to return thanks.
Thanks? For what?
We'll support you, you know.
It's your duty as queen.
Thank you very much.
Speak up, speak out, and don't speak until you're spoken to.
Thank you very much for everything. This has been a very interesting adventure, although not of my choosing. And certainly it's been illuminating, if not always entirely pleasant. And I have to say that I'm glad that I'm a queen now instead of a pawn, because I don't always want to be 7.5, and I feel more grown up. Even though growing up means taking responsibility and accepting life isn't fair and...
Oh, take care of yourself. Something's going to happen.
Oh dear, all sorts of things start happening in a moment. The candles all grow up to the ceiling, looking something like a bed of rushes, with fireworks at the top. The bottles each take a pair of plates, which they hastily fit on as wings. Then with forks for legs, they go fluttering about in all directions. 3 guests, who look like kangaroos, scramble into the dish of mutton and begin eagerly lapping up the gravy. The mome wraths outgrabe, the slithy toves gyre and gimble.
I can't stand this any longer! One good pullin'. See? Plates, dishes, guests, and candles all come crashing down together in a heap on the floor. And as for you, Her Red Royal Highness, Her Red Royal Bullying Highness...
Let go of me at once, how dare you!
You see, if I capture you...
Look up, speak nicely, don't fiddle your fingers all the time.
If I capture you and the Red King's still asleep, then as far as I'm concerned, it's checkmate.
Oh, you can't do that. I would advise you to...
I don't care. I've had enough. Checkmate.
I've seen checkmates compared with which this checkmate is...
The game's over. Kitty? There, Kitty. Do be quiet. Oh, I'm back here in the sitting room with the snow beating against the window and the chess pieces all over the floor. The dream's over.
Ever drifting down the stream, lingering in the golden gleam. Life, what is it but a dream? Did I mention that I sometimes try my hand at serious poetry too?
Excuse me, can you explain something to me?
I'll do my best.
Well, in the story it was suggested I might be part of the Red King's dream, and he might be part of mine, which was rather upsetting. And now, for all I know, the kitten may have been dreaming too, and everything was really all her dream.
As I said before, these are very big questions.
But then, when you come down to it, we're all part of your dream too, aren't we?
You mean it's all my fault? You know I don't have complete control over my imagination.
Everything comes from somewhere, doesn't it?
That's a very big philosophical assumption, but in practical terms, I suppose it's true.
You know, I don't like the notion of belonging inside somebody else's dream.
But Alice, the story's over.
All the same, I can't stop wondering what would happen if I went and woke the Red King up. I was going to do it before the 2 nights interrupted, remember? Then maybe we'd know the answer.
You can't do that. You can't wake him up.
Look, here he is with his red tasseled nightcap, snoring away. Shall I wake him?
Alice, you can't.
But I'd really love to know what would happen if he did wake up.
Alice, listen to me. You just can't.
Are you sure?
In Alice Through the Looking Glass by Lewis Carroll, Alice was played by Lauren Mote and Lewis Carroll by Julian Rhind-Tutt. The Red Queen was Carol Boyd, the White Queen Sally Phillips, and Humpty Dumpty Nicholas Parsons. Tweedledee and Tweedledum and the Red Knight were played by Alistair McGowan. The White Knight was John Rowe, the White King Robert Blythe, the White King's messenger and the waiter Ben Crow. The guard was Patrick Brennan, and the pudding, Stephanie Racine. Also appearing through the looking glass via Radio 4 were Jim Al-Khalili, Melvin Bragg, Jane Garvey and Jenny Murray, Andrew Marr, Roger McGough, Evan Davis and Gary Richardson, Eric Robson and Pippa Greenwood, Kirsty Young, and me, Peter Donaldson. Alice Through the Looking Glass was dramatised by Stephen Wyatt and directed by Tracy Neal.